are religiously different, but they're all young warriors, all of these young women. But they are very excited to have you in front of us. I would say that many of our friends are not Republicans. They would affiliate more with Democrats as well, but they do see you as someone they can aspire to be. So thank you so much for setting such a great example for women of all different thought processes. And what words of encouragement would you like to share with the young women like my daughter Libby?
I think I would say to be confident, to see what she wants, to have a plan. One thing I've often told my own daughters is, that you shouldn't let life just happen to you or sweep you along. You should identify what your objectives are and identify the kind of person that you want to be, and then make deliberate decisions to make that happen. My dad used to tell us not to make a decision is to make a decision. So I would say make decisions, be confident, know what you want, and go get it.
That is fantastic. And, I have 4 tenets that I live by, or pillars of success. And those 4 pillars are leadership, service, prudent risk, and gratitude. And so, I would like just to give you a couple minutes. You've already spoken to a few of those. You've talked about service and what it means to serve your nation. And you actually went through prudent risk in deciding to subject your family, your friends, yourself to this process, but deciding it was for the greater good. I'd like to give you just a moment to express some gratitude as well for those that have helped you get where you are today, and share maybe how they mentored you along the way.
Sure. Well, I think, as for probably so many people, my parents are the ones who I would have to express the most gratitude for, because, they've, they encouraged me at every step of the way. They've encouraged me and supported me and loved me and shaped me and given the values that I have. And then as I've had my own family and my own children, then they've helped me by supporting me with my children and reinforcing what they taught me. My professors in law school, we heard the other day from former Dean O'Hara, who was gracious enough to introduce me on the panel. I had so many wonderful professors when I was in law school. I had so many wonderful colleagues once I joined the faculty. When I was in practice, I had so many lawyers that I learned so much from. And then we've talked at great length about Judge Silberman and Justice Scalia, the judges for whom I worked. And so, I guess they say it takes a village to raise a child. I think it takes a village to mentor anyone into who they become as an adult. And so I'm very grateful for the whole village that I've had that's brought me to this point.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Judge Barrett.
Thank you. Senator Booker.
I'm good. You?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm sure that part of that smile is the fact that I'm the second to last Democrat. I just want to jump right in, because I actually found some of your responses to Senator Hirono are really compelling around the public charge issue, and that you dissented in the case. And if I could read it, you wrote that at the bottom, the plaintiff's objections reflect disagreement with the policy choice, and even the statutory exclusion itself. Litigation is not the vehicle for resolving policy disputes, because I think the DHS's definition is a rational interpretation of the statutory term public charge. But you were saying to her, which I really found compelling, that you were still leaving the door open for it to be capricious. Was that the word you used?
Yes. So the standard of review under the Administrative Procedure Act would be arbitrary and capricious. So I said at the conclusion of the dissent, because the majority reached both, I said at the conclusion of the dissent that I wasn't resolving that issue because it hadn't been briefed before us, but I just wasn't expressing an opinion. I thought we needed a fuller record. So I did leave open the possibility that the rule would nonetheless be arbitrary and capricious.
Yeah, as I said to you on our phone conversation, trying to read all of your cases, it has been a Herculean task, as has probably yours, preparing for this so quickly. And so maybe I can just go back to asking just a simple question that I hope you'll feel comfortable asking. It's just what I think is an obvious answer again. But do you think it's wrong to separate children from their parents to deter immigrants from coming to the United States?
Well, Senator Booker, that's been a matter of policy debate, and, obviously that's a matter of hot political debate in which I can't express a view or be drawn into as a judge.
So I respect that a lot, but I think the underlying question is actually not hotly debated, and just maybe I'll ask it one more time. Do you think it's wrong to separate a child from their parent, not for the safety of the child or parent, but to send a message? As a human being, do you believe that that's wrong?
Well, Senator, I think you're trying to engage me on the administration's border separation policies, and I can't express a view on that. So I'm not expressing assent or dissent with the morality of that position. I just can't be drawn into a debate about the administration's immigration policy.
Right. And of course, the question does have implications, but a very simple, we can't have a simple affirmation of what I think most Americans would agree on. But maybe I can jump back to something we began yesterday. I asked you whether you were familiar with studies conducted by the U.S. Sentencing Commission. Do you remember?
Yes, I said I was generally aware. Are you talking about when we talked about systemic or implicit bias and
Yes.
systemic racism?
Yes.
I'm generally aware that there have been studies done.
And so the U.S. Sentencing Commission provides non-binding federal guidelines to federal judges, which showed that some of the racial disparities in our criminal justice system, they talk about that considerably. And my colleagues and I on both sides of the aisle, as we worked